How's it going, everyone? Kevin here with Roll On Gaming, and today we are here to help you take your next step into a larger world. Because if you're like me, anytime you go to a store, whether it's a big box shop or your friendly local gaming store, and you see something new that says Star Wars on the box, you pick it up and you try it out. And you're here because you've already taken your first steps into Star Wars Unlimited with Intro Battle Hoth. That's right, the newest product from Fantasy Flight Games that's designed to teach players of every level how to play this great game of Star Wars Unlimited. Now, you've probably already played your introductory game of Star Wars Unlimited in the Intro Battle Hoth box. If you have not, stop. Either scan this code or go to one of the links in the description box below to learn how to play the game and to play your first scripted game of Star Wars Unlimited, because this video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part is going to teach you ways that you could think of expanding your play experience with the cards featured in this Intro Battle Hoth box. The second part of this video will be some gameplay that is not scripted, featuring the full breadth of the Intro Battle Hoth decks, as well as the full 30 HP bases that you are not using in your introductory game. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be talking about Intro Battle Hoth, the newest experience from Star Wars Unlimited. So before we get to the gameplay, I want to talk a little bit about some of the cards that you can use to build your first premier legal decks for Star Wars Unlimited. Now, a couple things to note here. One, the Intro Battle Hoth box is designed for beginners to teach people the basics of the game. That means not all of the cards in there are going to be supremely useful when it comes to building a premier deck, taking it to your locals, taking it to a tournament, so on and so forth. There might be some underpowered cards in there. There's a lot of cards that are, quote, vanilla, that have no abilities whatsoever. Those may not be as useful to you, but don't despair. I think there are some cards in here that could do some pretty cool things if given the chance, and we're going to talk about those today. Secondly, it's important to note that the Intro Battle Hoth box is not premier legal. That means you can't play it in a tournament until after the release of Secrets of Power in November. So until that time, you may just be needing to practice with it as a standalone box, but there's still ways that you can forecast ahead to figure out how you want to build your first deck with some of these cards. And let's talk about some of those now, starting, of course, with two of the most iconic characters in all of Star Wars, R2-D2 and C-3PO. This is part of a pair of cards that are designed to go together seamlessly because they reference each other's aspects. You'll see a pair of those in the Darth Vader deck as well that we'll get to in a bit. But whenever you've got cards that are designed to go together, you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of them. And luckily, R2-D2 and C-3PO are costed effectively, one being 2 resources, one being 3 resources. And their abilities allow you to do useful things when they play off of each other. Obviously, R2 allows you to exhaust a unit on attack, as long as you control a command unit. C-3PO, of course, is a command unit and is going to allow you to draw a card when you play it, as long as you control a cunning unit like R2-D2. So there's obviously ways that these cards can synergize off each other, and that can help you in your game plan, especially in the early game, if you're able to drop an R2-D2 on round 1 and a C-3PO on round 2 when you get up to 3 resources. So those are two of the cards that I think you could use to expand your strategy a little bit. Let's talk about the Tauntaun Mount. 2 costs for a 2/2 is kind of below what's considered the curve for ground units generally, but the when defeated ability is one that could be extremely useful to you, whether you're in heroism or in villainy, right? If you're playing in a command deck and you're looking for things that are going to be able to heal your base, Tauntaun Mount is one that you can honestly just run it into a unit and allows you to heal your base right away. It almost acts as restore in that way. Tauntaun Mount can be extremely useful with the Grand Admiral Thrawn leader from Jump to Lightspeed, because all of a sudden that 2 damage healed from your base can become 4 damage in the right circumstances. You can also play this in a villainy deck with Director Krennic, the unit from Jump to Lightspeed, to be able to decrease its cost by 1. But obviously those are villainy decks. We'll get to another villainy card that could be useful in a Grand Admiral Thrawn deck a little bit later on in the video. But Tauntaun Mount is one that provides a little bit of utility and an early round one play that can give you some value later on, even when it's defeated. Ion Cannon, this one is going to be a sideboard hero. When you're getting into sideboards is a whole other topic, but I think that this Ion Cannon, when going up against a space heavy deck, is going to be a real star for you to just drop into the ground arena and threaten 3 damage to a space unit on every consecutive round. I think that's something that could be particularly scary for Darth Vader players, for Poe Dameron players, for Kazuda players, and things of that nature. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ion Cannon was one that ended up in some sideboards in the future. And then, of course, we've got to talk about the heavy hitters in the Leia Organa deck, and that is, of course, the Millennium Falcon and Luke Skywalker. Now, Millennium Falcon at 7 cost, that's a little hefty for a 5/6, but we've already seen Millennium Falcon cards in Star Wars Unlimited that have the ability to come in ready, and this Millennium Falcon is no different. If your base has more damage on it than an enemy base, you can ready this unit. Paying 7 to be able to hit an opponent's base for 5 right away is something that could be extremely attractive in the late game. It's something your opponent might not see coming, might not have an answer for, especially if they've already used up some of their removal on one of your other units. So this Millennium Falcon could be very useful in that way. There is one of these cards in the Leia Organa deck in the Intro Battle Hawk box. There's also one Luke Skywalker. Now, this is not the best Luke Skywalker we've ever gotten, and certainly not the best one we've gotten at the 7 resource price point. However, again, with the restore, that's something that's going to be very useful, and the ability to deal damage or defeat a unit with the damage that you're dealing to a ground unit on play is always going to be something that potentially gets you a 2-for-1 with Luke Skywalker's ability. 6/6 is nothing to sneeze at when you're getting these other factors mixed into Luke Skywalker. So with these heroism cards, I think you have a pretty solid foundation of cards to build on if you're looking to expand on the Leia deck or build an entirely different heroism deck consisting of command and cunning. Now let's talk about some of the cards in the Darth Vader deck that you can build on, starting of course with another aspect combo featuring Admiral Piet and General Veers. Now, Admiral Piet and General Veers, you'll see, are a little bit higher of a cost than R2-D2 and C-3PO, but you will get better stats with them than you did with R2 and 3PO. Obviously, for Admiral Piet, you're paying 4 resources for a 2/5. General Veers paying 5 resources for a 3/6. But Admiral Piet can really effectively generate card draw for your deck as long as you have an aggression unit in play whenever he attacks, and that's something that you can find extremely useful when you're trying to get through your deck to some of your better cards that you have in there. And then General Veers has a pretty strong when played ability. It might be one of the strongest in the Intro Battle Hoth box, and it reads, if you control a Vigilance unit, you can deal 2 damage to an enemy base and heal 2 damage from your base. That 4 HP swing might be something that proves really useful to you. So that's definitely something to consider. Again, these cards that play off each other could end up being very useful to you if you're able to stack your deck with the appropriate amount of both aggression and vigilance units. We also have the E-Web Gunner. On the surface, the E-Web Gunner with its 0 power for 3 resources might not seem amazing, but as we know with Raid, being able to attack for the raid amount or add the raid amount to the attack, this becomes a 4 attack for 3 resources, which is something that is pretty close to curve. Obviously, the downside is not dealing any damage back when E-Web Gunner is attacked, but being able to deal 4 damage on 3 resources is something that's very desirable. There are also abilities in the game already that do things like double raid. So if you're able to play those cards with the E-Web Gunner, then all of a sudden that 3 resource unit becomes very scary. And the Hoth Lieutenant is one we have to talk about because we've seen a number of these lieutenant effects in Star Wars Limited already. They're usually restricted to something with a trait. However, the Hoth Lieutenant, despite being a little bit underpowered for a 4-cost unit, is able to give you the ability to attack with a boost with any of your units, regardless of their trait, regardless of their aspect, regardless of anything else. And that could be something that proves very useful, so that you're not sitting there waiting to, let's say, draw an Imperial unit so that you can play the Lieutenant to attack with the Imperial unit and get that boost. You can get that boost with absolutely anything, as long as it's in play and ready when the Hoth Lieutenant is played. So that's something that could prove extremely useful to give you that needed influx of damage, whether it's against the unit or against your opponent's base. This is something that can be useful in the early game, something that can be useful in the late game. Let's talk a little bit about Admiral Ozzel. This is another one with a strong when defeated effect. There's only 1 HP on Admiral Ozzel, but it's kind of one where you want it to be defeated, because it's forcing each opponent to discard a card from their hand. Again, if you're doubling this with Grand Admiral Thrawn, this becomes a much nastier unit, forcing your opponent to discard 2 cards from their hand. So this is something that could definitely see play early, as people already have access to Thrawn decks with aggression. That is a deck that is in the same, aspect pie chart as the Darth Vader deck in Intro Battle Hoth. So that's an easy fill with any of the cards in there, let alone Admiral Ozzel. So some food for thought there. And then, again, similar to how we talked about the Millennium Falcon and Luke Skywalker in the Leia Organa deck, we have to talk about Blizzard 1, sort of the big heavy hitter 1-drop in the Darth Vader deck. This is another one that's going to be slightly underpowered for the resource cost, but makes up for it with a when played ability that allows you to defeat another unit that's not a leader. Obviously, providing at least a 2-for-1 there. 7 HP is always a number that's hard to deal with for anybody, and not something that your opponent particularly probably wants to see across the table. Is a giant Blizzard 1 that has already defeated one of your units just by hitting the board. So Blizzard 1, something to consider and something to build on as you look into your Vigilance and Aggression decks after playing with the Darth Vader deck in Intro Battle Hoth. One other way that you can expand on these decks in Intro Battle Hoth is through the use of Spotlight decks. Spotlight decks are premier legal pre-constructed decks that release with every set. For the Legends of the Force Spotlight deck specifically, you'll notice that both decks match up aspect-wise with the decks in Intro Battle Hoth. So the Qui-Gon Jinn Spotlight deck is a Heroism, Command, and Cunning deck, just like the Leia Organa deck in Intro Battle Hoth, and the same goes for Darth Vader and Darth Maul in the sense that they share Villainy, Vigilance, and Aggression. So might be worth a pickup there, although it's important to note that obviously, as the set's namesake, the Legends of the Force Spotlight decks play heavily into the Force trait and the Force mechanic, and you won't find a ton of that in the Intro Battle Hoth box outside of your leaders and the Luke Skywalker unit, but still might be worthwhile to expand your collection with aspects and cards that you can use immediately with the Intro Battle Hoth aspects. When Secrets of Power releases, and again, when Intro Battle Hoth becomes Premier Legal, you may also find that the Padme Amidala Spotlight deck is useful to you because it also shares the same aspect pairing as the Leia Organa deck in Intro Battle Hoth. So definitely look out for that when Secrets of Power releases, because that could be a quick and easy way to upgrade your Leia deck or to supplement some cards that you may not be as fond of in the Padme deck with some cards you like better in the Intro Battle Hoth deck. So what are some of your thoughts on Intro Battle Hoth? Let us know down in the comments below. Are there some cards that we left out that you've been enjoying as you're playing with Intro Battle Hoth? Are there some other ways that you can build on this box to create a fun and exciting premier deck in Star Wars Unlimited? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Drop a like on the video, that helps us out a ton. But we're not done. We promise gameplay, and we will deliver. My brother and co-host Corwin and I played a game of Intro Battle Hoth using the full spread of cards with the full 30 HP bases. So I'm going to play that for you right now. Thanks so much for tuning in, and enjoy the gameplay. All right, we're going to get set up here for our first game on the 30 HP bases. Now again, when you get this Intro Battle Hoth box, You're going to want to make sure to not shuffle the decks because they have been meticulously arranged for your first game. However, since we're playing our second game and beyond, we've already shuffled the decks. We are still going to start with the Leia player, but we're going to go ahead and draw up and play a full game of Star Wars Unlimited. And as we draw up, the first thing I have to say is this board, Corwin, is absolutely incredible. And I want one just like it for Premiere Play.
Yeah, this is pretty nice. Really good layout, very good visuals, good material. Yeah, it's good quality.
It's like a board game board.
Yeah.
Which I guess is sort of the...
Even these tokens are not just like the plastic punch outs that they give at the pre-release boxes.
We've got some better punch. Ooh, these are some thick
like
punch.
Thicker cardboard.
We love to see it. I'm already messing up the piles. All right.
I worked so hard on those, Kevin.
I'm sorry. All right, so I am going to put 1 and 2 cards in my resource row, as you do at the start of every game. Now keep in mind, we are on the 30 HP bases. These can be flipped over for the 20 HP bases for the introductory game in any game you see fit as you're beginning your Star Wars Limited journey. But since we're a little bit more seasoned, we want to see how this plays with the 30 HP base. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So Corwin, you have initiative as the Leia Organa leader, so take it away.
Great. I'll spend 2 resources to put out a Tauntaun mount.
Great. So you're exhausting the 2 resources of the cost, and it is played to the ground arena exhausted.
It's a 2-cost 2/2 creature that heals 2 damage from my base when he's defeated.
Well, I don't like that so much. So I am going to exhaust 2 resources on my end, and I'm going to play an Imperial Deck Officer. It's a 2-cost vigilance unit that's a 1/4, and can heal some damage from my villainy units if I use an action.
Okay, so I'll take the initiative.
Okay.
And I flip it now.
Flip that
for
over.
the new thing. Yep.
Fantastic. I have no more actions. All my resources are spent. So I'm going to go ahead and pass my turn, and then we'll draw 2 cards. I will place 1 in my resource row and then ready all of my cards to signify that I am ready for the next round. And then once you ready up, flip over the initiative counter, and we begin a new round.
Indeed. All right, so fittingly enough, I have my boy in hand, so I'll pay the 2. Whoops. Hopefully not knock everything around here. And put out the new R2-D2.
Yes. It wouldn't be a Corwin deck without R2-D2. I think now is a good opportunity for me to spend 3 resources. All my resources for the round. And play a First Legion Trooper, which is just a generic 3/4 on the ground.
Yep, pretty good. Alrighty, so then I'll go ahead and use the mount and attack your base for 2.
Okay, I will take 2 damage on my base. And then I will... I don't think I need to hit your base for 1 damage or attack into either of your units. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the initiative.
Okay. And then in that case, I will pass my turn.
Fantastic. So we can draw up here. That's a spicy card. Some of the art in this intro battle Hoth box is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll resource 1 and ready up all my units to signify that I am ready for play.
Alrighty.
Okay, in the interest of continuing to accelerate my ground forces as Vader would do in the Battle of Hoth, I'm going to play one of my favorite cards in the box, and I'm going to spend 4 resources to play the Hoth Lieutenant. Now, the Hoth Lieutenant has a when played ability, which reads, you may attack with another unit, it gains +2/+0 for this attack. So because I have ready units, I can choose one of them to get a bonus to the attack. So I will choose my first Legion Trooper, give it +2 power, and attack and kill your R2-D2.
Oh, that's rude.
It is. So R2 is defeated, and I take 1 damage back for my efforts.
That's pretty good. Okay, fair enough. All right, the Tauntaun Mount is going to get into your base for 2.
Okay, I will swap out this 1 damage for a 3 damage. I'm up to 4 damage on my base. I'm going to use the Imperial Deck Officer's action to exhaust it and heal up to 2 damage from one of my units. So I will heal this trooper.
This makes sense to me. I'll go ahead and pay 3 and put out a Rebellion Y-Wing in space.
Ooh, our first space unit. Exciting. I will go ahead and take the initiative.
Okay, I'll pass my turn.
Okay. We'll draw up. Now Leia deploys on 5 resources, correct?
She does.
Fantastic. That's not scary at all.
I think you'll be all right.
How would I like to do this? Well, that's a scary thing, because that's just going to keep doing damage to me. So I think I'm going to resource... I think I'm going to resource this card and see where it gets me. Is that smart? I don't know, but we'll find out. Okay, so I will ready my units here, and we'll go on the ready for play. So we're going to start by taking out your Tauntaun Mount, taking 2 damage to my first Legion Trooper.
Yep, makes sense to me. Alrighty. I will get into your base for 2, and then on attack he also does 1 damage, so 3 total.
Okay, I'll add 3 more damage to my base for a total of 7. I think now's a good time to get some actual damage on your base, so I'm going to use the Hoth Lieutenant to hit your base for 3.
I will take 3. All right. I am going to... Let's see. Leia comes out on 5. But before she does, I'll use my 5.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to play Chewbacca.
Chewbacca is a Sentinel.
Sentinel on ground.
Which is very annoying. Okay, I'm going to use the Imperial Deck Officer to heal damage from my first Legion Trooper.
Okay. Alright, so then I'll bring Leia out, so to deploy the leader, just flip over onto her other side and ready her.
I will spend 3 resources to play Admiral Ozzel to the ground arena.
When defeated, each opponent discards a card from their hand. Fair enough. Alright. Leia will attack into your base for 3 damage.
Okay. That 7 damage turns into 10. Already I am feeling the pain. It's a big 1-0 there. I'm going to use Darth Vader's leader action to pay 1 and exhaust to deal 1 damage to your base.
4. Alright, I will take the initiative.
Fantastic. And I have no other actions or cards that I can afford, so I will pass my turn.
Alright. Sounds good to me.
going to take a lot to get through this Chewbacca, unfortunately.
He is 6 HP, so he's a little beefy.
He is a bit of a beefcake.
And Vader deploys on 6. Okay,
Correct.
So Vader is coming out this round. That's pretty good. Alrighty.
Looks like I need to have some of my units start being defeated because I'm running out of room here. Luckily, Chewbacca will take care of that, I'm sure.
Chewbacca will attack your base for 3 to start the round.
I'm at 13 on my base. All right, well, I guess let's follow up on that by Admiral Ozzel attacking into Chewbacca. Chewbacca will take 3 damage. Admiral Ozzel will die. But when defeated, each opponent discards a card from their hand.
Okay. I will do that. Discarded improvised detonation.
Okay.
All right. So then I'll use Leia next and attack into your base for 3. And her on attack is to heal 1 damage from a friendly unit and 1 damage from another friendly unit. So heal 1 from Chewbacca.
Very good.
Oh, that's another 3. There we go.
Okay, so I'm up to 16 on my base. I am going to pay 2 resources for a scouting TIE fighter, which is a 2/2 in space.
Okay. Seems good. I think I will go ahead and use the Y-Wing to defeat that TIE fighter.
Okay.
And then deal 1 damage to your base on attack.
Sounds good. All right. I will attack into Chewbacca for 3 damage and take 3 in return.
Okay, so his 2 goes up to 5.
We're making a mess of these nice, neat piles that you had here.
Indeed. Okay. All right, I'm gonna spend 1 resource and play Go for the Legs to exhaust an enemy ground unit. I'll choose your lieutenant here.
That sounds good. It's very exhausting. The Imperial Deck Officer is going to finish off Chewbacca, taking 3 damage in return.
Okay, as I thought he might. All right, so Chewbacca is defeated. And then I'll spend 5 resources and bring out a GR-75 medium transport here in space.
Oh, that's kind of scary. I don't enjoy that a ton, but it is what it is. I'm going to deploy Darth Vader into the ground arena. He is a 3/8 that has an on attack deal 2 damage to a base.
That's pretty good. Oh, I should have flipped this. I forgot to do that, but I will take the initiative and flip again.
Sounds good. I am going to attack into your base for 3 plus 2 from the on attack.
Okay,
So that's
5
5
total.
damage.
Yep.
So Vader has a nice damage ability there.
Yeah.
And then I will pay 4 for Admiral Piet,
Ooh.
who is a 2/5 and on attack. If you control an aggression unit, which is red, draw a card.
That's pretty good.
And then I will pass my turn
Okay, sounds good to me.
and try to find room for all these units. In the
Yeah,
ground
you have
arena.
a big ground arena there.
I'm going to need it with how behind I am on damage. So we'll see.
Okay, let's draw up.
We'll resource that. So we should both be at 7 resources in our resource row.
Yes.
All right.
Assuming that you chose to resource every turn, which you don't
Correct,
have to
which
do.
you don't have to do. That is correct.
But it's usually wise to, at least until you can get your leader out.
Okay.
Okay.
Your action.
It is my action. Let's see. Well, yeah, you got some forces over there. But I'm gonna go ahead and start by getting into your base for 5.
Sure. So that puts me to 22. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. $10. Here's another 1. Okay, now you're going to heal with Leia, which is kind of annoying. So I don't know if I can take that extra 3 right now. So I think I'm going to spend all 7 resources for a Death Squadron Star Destroyer, which is a 5/6 Sentinel in space.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, well, all right, so how do I want to do this?
That is a great question.
I think I'm gonna, you know what, let's counter with 7 of our own. How about we do that?
This sounds like a Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker, do you read me? When played, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit. So let's go ahead and take out your First Legion here.
That seems like a good thing to do. And that's also a very scary thing for you to do. That's a 6/6 in the ground. Okay.
Sure is.
Well, I don't particularly enjoy that. Ouch. Very scary.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. I don't think I can keep that around, which I'm not thrilled about. So let's go ahead and attack in with the Imperial Deck Officer into Luke for 1 damage.
He takes 1. And the Deck Officer is defeated. Okay.
Well, I don't really have the problem of overcrowding in my ground arena anymore.
Not for now. Okay, let's see here. Oops. So I think Leia will go next.
Sure. Oh, I've just played right into your trap. That makes me very sad.
Maybe? I don't know. I think you're okay. So Leia will attack your base for 3, and then use her ability to heal 1 and 1.
I've played into your trap. All right, so I have 5 damage left on my base. All right, I am forced to swing into Luke with Admiral Piet. On attack, I do draw a card.
You do.
But Piet is defeated.
Takes 2. Yeah, my space units are kind of stuck here, unfortunately. So I think I'm just going to take initiative.
Okay. I'm going to attack into Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
And be defeated.
So then I am up to 5 damage on Luke.
And then I'm going to attack into Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
And take 6 damage on the Vader, and do 2 damage to your base on attack.
So I'm currently at 9, so this puts me at 11.
And then I'm going to pass my turn.
Okay.
Let's organize my resources a little bit more efficiently.
Resource 1. Okay.
Okay.
Well, this should be interesting. I think I will start by spending 5 and putting down another Chewbacca.
Oh, that's very sad. I don't enjoy that one bit.
Get a little protection going here.
I think I need to attack your base for 5.
Okay, puts me at 16. And then let's have Leia 3 into your base, and then I will heal 1 off of the Y-Wing.
Mm-hmm. I'm in trouble. The problem here is if I don't kill both of your ground units, you can defeat me on the first action next round, which I think is what's going to happen. I have 8 resources. Which is not quite enough to do what I need to do. So we'll play it out, and I'll play the cool card.
Yeah.
Because the cool cards are fun.
We're here for cool.
I'm going to spend 8 resources, and I'm going to play the Avenger.
Oh.
So the Avenger, when played, deals 1 damage to each other unit, including friendly units.
Okay. We got to put some damage on.
So there's 1. There's 1. There's 1.
Great. All right. I will take the initiative.
Yep.
And hope you can't stop me in the ground.
With no resources, I'm just going to attack into your Sentinel and do 2 more damage to your base. Vader will be defeated.
Score some.
And I will lose the game on first action. Well played.
All right, good game, sir.
And that is how you play a full 30 HP game of Intro Battle Hoth.